This is a different view of the ship because of how early it is, and I'm pretty much the only one awake, or at least the only one walking around outside of my stateroom. Now, walking down the hallway, it did kind of dawn on me. I thought about this yesterday. The ship is very, very clean, and the staff does a really great job of continuously working to clean, but with all the food that's left in the hallways overnight, how do they keep the bugs down? How do they keep the rodents down? I wonder how they do that. But either way, I'm sitting here at the coffee shop waiting for it to open and waiting for everyone to get up. It's our last full day on the ship as we're saying goodbye to Cozumel. And I don't know if we will ever come back. Not that there's anything wrong, but I don't know if there was enough of a reason for us to return. And if you guys have visited Cozumel, what did you think? Is it only exciting because of the cruise, but Cozumel itself isn't really? Because, I mean, honestly, I would prefer to go to Cancun. And mainly for Cancun's all-inclusive resorts, more so than Cancun itself. And I'm still interested in traveling and visiting other countries, and particularly tropical locations, especially in comparing it to the beach that we live on every single day. But thinking about it in general, and just thinking about the way, like, for instance, one of our favorite channels, creators, couples, teams do it, Kara and Nate, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they travel so much. I don't know how they can even feel comfortable, because it's only been a few days, and really and truly it was just a few hours off of the cruise ship, away from the comforts of civilized life that we have been used to, being your mainly connectivity to the internet, which is kind of strange when you think about it. Without internet, we feel lost and alone. But just in general, just the more primitive lifestyle that we're not accustomed to on a regular basis. Man, it's a lot to think about. But with that being said, it got me thinking about life in general. And we were actually watching Matt Damon's movie, The Martian. It came on TV while we were in our stateroom. We caught the last half of it. And it got me thinking about the validity of that movie and the possibility of this happening in the future. And this may be the unpopular moment of the video where some people choose to click off because they don't like what I have to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think that at some point in time we will inhabit another planet. We being people, human beings, so to speak. But realistically, you have to have a solution for breathing. Now, granted, we could all wear spacesuits and oxygen tanks and apparatuses to allow us to survive, but that would be as feasible as trying to survive a post-nuclear war fallout situation in a hazmat suit. It's just not going to happen. Now, the second option would be just for us to adapt, to be able to breathe whatever is in the atmosphere. That seems more plausible to me. And how would that happen? Well, much like evolution has happened before, we are introduced into a situation in which it will ultimately fight or flight. We have to figure out a way to survive in order for us to continue on as a species. So, slowly start introducing the different chemical components of the atmosphere in which would be comprised of that planet that we would then need to be prepared for as human beings to breathe. Simple, right? They send exploration out into space, they collect data and information and samples, and they bring it back, and then they start running you through this treatment process, so to speak, conditioning process, really, to get you ready to breathe something other than H2 or O2. Sorry, breathe something other than O2. So, but realistically, that would take millions of years to really happen, really. Or we find a way to accelerate this, which we have done in the past. Since computers have been created to create better computers. We've continuously worked to improve our efficiency to be able to adapt quicker and faster and better, stronger. So, with the possibility of the ability to create human beings, wouldn't we just create human beings with the ability to be able to breathe in other atmospheres, or maybe dual or multiple atmospheres at once, by manipulating their DNA and biological makeup before they're born? And then at that point, are they really considered born, or are they considered created and made? And then, who is their creator? Now, these are some tough questions, but no answers really available at the moment. But in my opinion, this planet that we're on is finite. The resources we have available will at some point in time be depleted, if not destroyed by us pushing a button for whatever reason it may be. And we will have to either evacuate and evolve and adapt for survival, or face complete and total elimination. Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm on the right side of the ship to see the sunrise this morning. It is a whole lot calmer. It's not even really windy out here at all. The ship's not rocking like it was yesterday, so that should be a plus, so that Michelle has a much more enjoyable day, because yesterday did not end very well. But it's still quiet out here. It's early. I like this crowd. This is probably the older crowd, where the younger crowd was actually in the pool last night until they kicked them out. I mean, these kids were splashing around in that pool to no end, but I'm sure they had a great time. But I was already up this morning at 5 a.m. ready to go. And they actually have some food out. They got some fruit out. Maybe I'll go here and take a peek at what they've got before everybody shows up. The staff is here cleaning. Like I told you guys, this ship is super clean. Like, they clean all the time. Like, I sat at this table yesterday, and every like 5 minutes somebody's like, "Can I come wipe your table down?" I was just sitting there, and I was done eating, and they were just continuously coming over, cleaning. So we got the omelet station There's that sign I was telling you about, the omelet that looks like a taco. I guess that's an omelet. But they're getting ready. This will probably be prime time to come out here and take your pick on what you want, and not have people picking over it. You had the first choice. We actually sat. Yeah, we can see what I'm probably the youngest person here up this early in the morning, but we actually sat over there last night, me and my mom and Michelle's mom, because Michelle and Alyssa were hiding in the stateroom because they weren't feeling well. But as we were sitting over there, we saw the sunset. So logically, chocolate chip muffin. Do I start my day off with a chocolate chip muffin? That's not responsible, is it? Maybe I will. So logically speaking, maybe I'll start my day off with a cup of coffee. The sunrise should be over here on this side, past the breakfast grill. And I would be willing to bet sunrise will probably happen here in the next hour without knowing for a fact. Just a guess. Just a guess. And I received a message from a member on Patreon, because on Patreon we actually posted a poll. It was a poll for you to vote on the best time and day for the interactive live stream. So I'm going to see if we can try to pull one off here really soon, given our internet connectivity and its stability. But I also know that not everyone will be able to make each and every single interactive live stream, which is why we will alternate and fluctuate with the times. But what's most important is that you do vote and you do state the best time that works, so that we can start to get on a little bit of a schedule for the ability to incorporate as many people as possible each and every time. Now, we're going to have a lot to discuss on this next one coming up, especially from Michelle's point of view on this cruise and everything that she's experienced, and the people, what she likes, what she doesn't like, her, the pros, the cons, as well as what's happening next. Because if anybody knows her, then they know that a vacation with her is anything but that. A vacation with her is nonstop interaction and running, ripping, running. Always got to be on the move, always got to be doing something. And this is no exception. We started off in Tampa, we hit the ground running, and I think there's another cruise ship out there. And then we ended up on the cruise. I take that back. Then we ended up in Clearwater. So if you guys didn't see that video on Clearwater, go check it out. It's on the Life channel. And then we ended up on the cruise, and then we're going to go back to Tampa, I believe, but then we're going to end up in Orlando, and it's a never-ending cycle. Let's see if we can see this cruise ship out here. And we're at 20x. Optical. I'm sorry, this was probably digital. You see that? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the Loch Ness Monster. But the odds are, if you're going to come out here, I think that a lot of people, they come out here for a few reasons. One of which is probably to get out of their stateroom and just come out here and just let one loose, just rip it. But also to just think and clear your mind and just be in a peaceful state of thought, reflection. But then the other one is just to see what kind of crazy stuff you'll see out here. So you got to have your camera ready at all times. Now, I did catch a video yesterday, when we were leaving Cozumel. I don't know what they were doing on the side of the ship. I wasn't brave enough to stick my phone over the edge. And you guys know that I was not allowed to take my drone on this cruise, which kind of was a bummer. But yeah, you always got to be ready. Got to have the camera ready to snap that picture, to catch that video. I like shooting video. We had dinner for my mom's birthday, and after the dinner, I just took a selfie video. I had my stick and video, and you know, it was just the four of us, because Michelle, she didn't make the dinner, she wasn't feeling it, so we're just shooting this video like this. And you know, I'm like, well, we're just shooting a video, so just smile. And they're like, what? Because what'll happen is I'll go back in the video later, and then I'll hit screenshots of the better pictures, so we have more options to choose from. Now granted, I got the stylus pin on this S23 Ultra, but sometimes it doesn't connect, so I just shoot the video. We've been a little bit, I guess, more active in our recording in the last, you know, yesterday, and we've had more people approach us and ask us if we are actually on YouTube, if we do YouTube, and they're always excited to hear yes, and hear about it and how long we've been doing it, and see the channels, and everybody's like they laugh, they're in awe when I tell them my channel name. I'm like, it's just straight up Kevin, that's it, it's just Kevin. They're like, how can your channel name be Kevin? Well, it is. Well, it's not the greatest view, but it is a view nonetheless. Hidden behind the clouds is our beautiful morning sunrise. Off in the distance on the horizon there. Get you a little bit of 10x zoom here. That's it. Cloudy morning, as you can tell. And just hanging out here with a few other people. Cleaning crew. I just realized as I was playing back the video I recorded yesterday, which I had a little bit of a struggle getting that video uploaded yesterday. The internet was not cooperating, but I think we're getting there. I think it's almost done being uploaded. But I realized in the video I made a reference to what Michelle was saying about the food situation on the cruise ship, and how we have different times for the buffet, but also how they're able to manage the food. And she had mentioned, she goes, well, how could there be any possibility of food shortages when during the pandemic these cruise ships were shut down? And thinking about how much food that they go through, it's like, well, where did all that food go? It's a good question. But they do have a lot of food on these boats. But they do encourage people not to take more than they really plan to eat, so not to be wasteful. But I'm wondering, how much food do they actually have on the ship for like a 4-day cruise? But also, how much water do they have? Because I'm thinking about like taking showers, which, you know, it's a little bit of a low pressure situation, but how many gallons of water do they have on a cruise ship to manage the amount of people that could potentially use a lot of water and not ruin the trip, or, you know, have any sort of rationing or mandate that you shut down your water and you can't take a shower for the rest of the trip? And then like on longer trips, 7 days, 10 days, however long, I don't know what the max length is for a cruise, you know, how much water do they have? Which obviously has an impact on the ship's weight and its fuel efficiency and everything else that goes into it. And that was the other thing. I wonder how fast these cruise ships can go. Like if they really wanted to just peg this joker, like how fast could this really go?